if we don't think demonic forces reign upon us, we have another thing coming. What a tragedy. A young man lost his life. He wasn't even a threat. He didn't even oppose a threat. You can listen to the way he talked and can tell that he was from a suburb section of wherever he grew up from. Guys, you're doing too much, right? That's the sign of someone that's properly educated, grew up not in poverty. And so if we think that there was any justified doing in what they did to that young man, like, come on, really? Another life gone. Before this go out, y'all go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, look at the full video of this content. Appreciate you. But another life gone. It's enough that we have to worry about when the opposite culture pulls us over. And now we have to worry about our own kind. Is this the stigma and the jacket that we put on African Americans? Right? It's already enough that other races, they view us as lazy. They view us as violent. They view us as less of human beings. They look at us as a joke, right? And to see this, a young man lose his life over nonsense. And when I say nonsense, meaning that it was no justified cause for them to have to even take that to the extent that it went. Man, this is not a racial thing. Because if it would have been white cops, it would have been racist. But now it's black cops. Y'all know what this is? It boils down to a humanity thing. Humanity. Evidently, clearly, them guys had something going on within themselves and been planning to, I guess, eventually whip a nigga ass. I don't know. Right? But it wasn't called for. Man, do we know the trickle-down effect that this has on the family? And when I say the family, meaning his mother, his father, if his grandparents is living, his siblings, his cousins, people that he worked with, people that he went to school with, anybody that he had an influence over their life, or anybody that was attached to that young man, is suffering loss. Not just people in his family, even the police guys. If they were married, if they had children, the effect, the cause that it's gonna have on their life behind a decision that they made based upon what? Pride? Ego? Inadequacy? a sense of them not loving themselves. Maybe there was some guys that went to school that never got no girls, never had a fight in their life, and decide to put on a badge, and because they're attached to a little bit of power, they take it overboard. Because that's what this is about. Power. Or you think you could get away with taking someone's life? Or you think that it could possibly be justified? Nigga, you lost your mind. They fitting to hang all 5 of y'all. That's what them people fitting to do. See, it ain't gonna be no blue backing up blue on this situation. Man, they finna make an example of you niggas. Yeah, your fate gonna be decided by a juror of your peers. And guess what? It ain't gonna be black neither. It ain't gonna, 1 or 2. Man, this fitting to be Caucasian people on this jury judging you. Man, it's fitting to be, I'm talking about, they fitting to kill their character. They fitting to kill anything that they stood on. Man, they fitting to come at the chief of police. They fitting to come at all the higher ups. Because from my research, they were saying that they weren't even supposed to be in that area. They weren't even supposed to pull him over. But man, you talking about, so I was reading and they were saying that this situation compares to the Rodney King beating. I say it's even worse because he lived. This man died. And everybody that's rioting, everybody that's protesting, everybody that's, standing up for the life of this young man, I salute y'all. And if I wasn't working and if I wasn't on the road, if I was in a city where they were protesting, man, I would go join. Because, man, this don't make no sense. This is not even called for. When I was coming up, and if we ran from the police or disrespected the police, they might have put a couple of licks on us, but then we would have a lecture after that. Come on, man, you don't need to be doing that. Stay in school. At least when I was coming up in the early 2000s, we had police late 90s, early 2000s, we had police officers that cared a little bit about how we were acting in the streets, black and white. But this here, man, like, come on, man, and I don't really get on social media and talk about situations like that because you have, people in place that, could articulate, in a more deeper form of what really took place and, it's break it down, et cetera, but like, come on, man. Now we have to worry about black cops not being able to make it home if our own kind pull us over. All the struggle and the hardship and the suppression and the oppression that's been going on with African Americans all our lives. Now we have to worry about our own people. So now what we gonna say about niggas in the hood? that they're a threat, but the police officers is even a more threat than those that's living in the projects and coming out of poverty that don't mind getting it how they live? Man, you talking about the hurt and the pain of African Americans that's really taking this to heart. Not just his family, but people that stand up and people that fought for us to vote, people that fought for us to have our own businesses, people that fought for us to have the freedom of speech, people that fought, that came against the constitutional rights that was used to hold us back, to oppress us. People that fought for them niggas to even be in that position. To have the right to have a badge and have some authority. Like, come on, man. If we think that the devil is not real and that he's using people to carry out his plan, to kill, steal, and destroy, we done lost our minds. If we think we don't need God at a time like this, we lost our mind. If we don't think that this is God showing us the evil side of humanity, we have another thing coming. If we don't think that God is calling us to stand up, and calling those who believe in him, calling us to stand up and to be better examples, to get involved in what's going on in our neighborhoods and what's going on our local police forces. Man, forget just going to church and playing the piano and hollering and screaming about your own situation. Man, he's calling us to step outside of our box. To speak on a situation like this. Man, what would make them do that? I can't say what made them do that because I'm not in their heart. I'm not God. Right? But apparently, what was in them came out. Apparently, seeds have been sown that they're able to do that to African American and get away with it. Because let me tell you something, man. In a program like that, being a police officer, you know, like anything else, you gonna do what you know you are allowed to do. Right? Like anything else, whether you're on a job or whatever you're doing, you know how far you can go before you get fired. So, man, apparently this is a deeper situation than just the cops beating up on a black dude. Apparently, this is the mindset of the higher ups. Because if they knew that it was consequences and repercussions for them taking those actions, they would have thought twice about it. Come on, man, we have to get it together, man. And I want to say this, right? Let's be smart. Let's, look, you want to be a gangster? Let me tell you what a gangster was gangster. Humbling myself so I can make it home to my children. humbling myself so I can live to fight another day. Humbling myself so that I can live to watch my children grow up, so I can live to provide for my family, so I can live to get to the next level in my business, in my life. Man, I ain't got time to prove nothing to nobody in the culture about how we gonna ride and forget 12 and all that. Man, let's be smart. Oh, well, you think I'm a punk, if you think I'm soft because I let the cop talk to me any kind of way, man, cool. That's fine. You think I'm gonna let that trick me out of my position when I feel I want to get up and go to Root Chris Steakhouse? You know, you think I'm gonna ruin that? You think when I feel like doing this, doing that, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that, you think that I'm gonna ruin that because I want to come against the authority when they pull me over? Nah, man. All right, you got that, cool. What's that? All right, cool. License registration? Cool. Have any guns, any drugs? No. Can we search? Be my guest. I want no problem with them people, man. Because you're dealing with human beings with all kind of issues. Man, that badge don't make them special. Yeah, that badge give them some sort of authority, but that badge don't fix insecurities and imperfections and mental illness and ego and pride. Scripture tell us, listen, the scripture tell us that out of the mouth of a person, right? When a person speaks something, when a person say something, when a person take action on something, guess where he say it comes from? The heart. So what they did came out of their heart. The actions that they took, the decision that they tried to make, and then they did it collectively. Man, that came out of those brothers' hearts. They wasn't even thinking about their family. Matter of fact, they wasn't even thinking, period. But I'm going to say this. You reap what you sow, right? And you get what you're looking for. So apparently they've been wanting smoke. And the first sign of somebody they could have taken advantage of, it hit the fan. Man, let's pray for his family, man. Pray for that guy's family. I pray healing. You know, I pray that God be with the family on both sides. Even the families of the police. Because it's not just them that have to deal with the situation. It's everybody that's attached to them as well. Come on, fellas, let's be smart. People, let's be smart. Men or women. Especially if you're black. When the police pull you over, comply so you can go home. And if any harm was done to you, or if any type of violation, you know, if you got violated in any kind of way, you know, be smart where you can have your day in court. It ain't about proving nothing to nobody, man. It ain't about, I ain't gonna let them punk me. It ain't about none of that. It ain't about Black Lives Matter. It ain't about none of that. It's about knowing how to be smart and knowing how to avoid the devil when he at work. It's about avoiding that, man. It's about avoiding your life getting taken from you because you got people that's going through all kind of issues, and then they take their frustration out on you. You have to understand, man, that's human beings. Human beings, man. They're people. They're not immortal. They're mere man. So you have to know how to discern the energy of a person so that you can make the right decision, so that situation can turn out in your favor, so you can go home and you can live. Man, we living in a time where, golly, man, like, you can't even go and enjoy a dinner with your family or your wife or with friends without having to pack some heat in case a dumbass come in there and want to act up. Come on, people, let's think. This is AK the Don, man. Y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel. We'll be putting out more content. It's sad, man. Like, come on, man. Let's die to live. Let's die to live. And when I say let's die to live, man, let's die to the things that make us make dumb decisions and impulsive decisions. Man, let's die to have, wanting to have a reputation. Man, let's die to this, I ain't finna let this happen, or I'm going out, or I'm gonna do this, or man, let's die to all that, and let's be smart. Let's die to that so that we can live to see our kids graduate, so we can live to see our grandkids, so we can live to see ourselves, put ourselves in a better position so we can retire our parents from working. That's what it's about. Everybody on YouTube, everybody on the blogs gonna have their opinions and stuff like that. They gonna dissect what happened and blah, blah, blah. Man, that's fine. But I'm looking at it as people, as humanity, as individuals, black, white, Chinese, green, it don't matter. This ain't the first time black cops whip somebody behind. And it ain't gonna be the last. But it don't have to happen to you. It don't have to happen to me. It don't have to happen to our sons, our daughters. If we learn how to be smart and have discernment to discern the energy when the enemy coming at us. Man, I love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Peace.